I mentioned this in a previous video that I used to do work in my local jail working with male residents. They didn't call them inmates or prisoners, they called them residents, to humanize. I don't have a problem with that. I think that's great. Male residents in the jail. And I would talk to them about domestic violence and healthy relationships. And so we would go over the power wheel as well as the healthy relationship wheel. When we did the power wheel, the conversations that we used to have were really eye-opening for me, because a lot of times to see it on paper, right? To see it on paper, like I would ask, what are these things on this wheel that you've done? And we'll sit there and I'll let them check off. Put a little check mark with your pencil. And what are the things that you've done? And without fail, majority of them have done multiple of those things. Now, a lot of them were hesitant to admit if they did something physical. And I get it, because also some of them were like facing charges around DV. So I get why they wouldn't want to answer that. But a lot of them were shocked at the things that they realize they've done, because they've normalized these behaviors. They've benefited from these behaviors. And I remember one of them I remember him saying that he was a boxer. And he's like, I've never put my hand on a woman. Cool. But we had a conversation and he was saying how his girlfriend wanted to go hang out with his friends. With her friends. And I was like, okay. He was like, I'm not going to watch the kids, or I'm not going to be at home with the kids if you're out partying with your friends. I said, aren't you the same person that just told me that you want to go watch the fight? Because he was into boxing, watch the fight with your friends. So she's not allowed that same opportunity. What are you afraid of? And he got real silent. Well, there's a double standard. And to put it out there, he's like, oh, Miss Gross, go ahead. Now I'm like, listen, you said it. I'm just pointing out to you. And they get real quiet when you bring it back to them. What I learned from that has helped me with my work with survivors as well. And just having conversations with men. Normalize these behaviors so much that they don't even realize how wrong it is until they're faced with it, like literally faced with it. And that's something to think about as we're having these conversations. Like a lot of times these responses from men is because they've normalized it and conditioned themselves to believe it.